Momentous days in Ukraine, shaken by turmoil, bloodshed and division. And passions are being fired by history, as the old maps in the British Library's collection reveal. Let's start with Crimea, now the focus and flashpoint of this crisis, threatening to loosen ties with Kiev or even return to Russian rule if the pro-Moscow Russian speakers there get their way. And here it is, a tiny peninsula in the Black Sea, just below modern Russia and modern Ukraine. But in the 18th century, it was part of the Ottoman Turkish Empire, ruled by the Khan of the Crimean Tatars. Until, as in this map, Russia's Catherine the Great annexed it and made it part of the Russian Empire. And there it stayed part of Russia until 1954, when the Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev decided to give it to Ukraine as a gift. That didn't matter too much when it was all part of Soviet territory. But then, in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. And Russia and Ukraine found they were separate countries, with Crimea still part of Ukraine. As for the main part of Ukraine, it's always been pulled two ways. The West feels tied to Europe for good reason. Take Lviv, as it's called today, in the far west of Ukraine. In 1775, it was called Limburg and was part of the Austrian Empire. And in 1940, now part of Poland, it came under Soviet rule, part of a carve-up, a secret deal between Hitler and Stalin. Some Ukrainian nationalists saw Stalin as a bigger enemy than Hitler. That's why there's still so much suspicion of Moscow, the old occupying power. And that's why we keep hearing President Putin warning of the threat from right-wing extremists in western Ukraine. Old fears and mistrust, still shaping attitudes today. The further east you go in Ukraine, the more people see Russia not as an enemy, but as part of the family. Look at this beautiful 18th century map. Russian lands extend all the way to Kiev. The other side is Poland, and Kiev is where the Russian state began, and the Russian Orthodox Church, over 1,000 years ago. It's almost sacred. That's why President Putin doesn't want to let it go.